By far, the biggest thing that will stop you from ranking up in Rocket League is not playing patiently enough. So many players rotate around the field and attempt to make plays on the ball in situations that are just significantly more difficult than they need to be. And the reason we find ourselves in these unnecessarily difficult positions is because we put ourselves there. So in today's video, we'll be discussing how you can rotate, position, and make decisions in more calm, composed ways. This way, you will simply never put yourself in an unnecessarily difficult position again. And real quick before we do get started, if any of you are interested in having one of your own replays analyzed, make sure you do check out my Discord, which will be linked down in the description, as I do offer free coaching through there. Okay, so right out the gate, just a bit of an awareness thing. So this kickoff, I think you know, is bad. I think you're very well aware that this kickoff did not go necessarily where you wanted it to. As you land here, be very careful about just getting baited into immediately autopiloting in the mid boost. Because this is something that a lot of players do, is they'll have a bad kickoff and they're so used to just getting the mid boost off of it that they don't really care, that they still go get it. You have to recognize this is not good. Our teammate very likely is about to get beat. We need to try to get back to play off whatever is about to happen. So I would immediately hard turn to the right, get these pads here, circle back to the net, and be prepared to try to make a save. Don't just go out to the mid boost because, you know, that's what you do all the time, because this does slow you down. Because if you were just taking pads, then you'd be fine. Because, I don't know, you'd be maybe like around here right now. Then when this happens, it's like, oh, okay, whatever, we're already here. And now we can make a very easy touch out to the side with control, instead of like rushing back as fast as possible now to try to get like a last second touch. Which in fairness isn't great because we kind of just pass it back out to the midfield. So do be careful of that. This is super aggressive. Okay, yeah, so this is super awkward. Again, awareness of your teammate. You blast this to the right side of the field. The last thing you see of your teammate is him landing on the right side. Like, we see that he is landing over there, and we see that he still has, like, half a tank of boost. Even if you, like, don't recognize how much boost he has, you know he's landing over there because you just see the orange nameplate going flying that way. So the moment you hit the ball to that side, I'm going to assume that my teammate is going to be playing it. Like, this flip forward is relatively fine to threaten the bump, but the second we turn ball cam back on and see Tristman right there, we pull off. We do not run into their corner. We do not try to pressure that hard. We just chill, you know, hang out, grab some pads, just wait to see where the play goes, swing on over this way. Because now what happens is your teammate is able to just calmly turn and play the ball because he doesn't have you awkwardly sitting in front of him like this. You really want to avoid this kind of positioning because what happens is it confuses the crap out of your teammate. Because he's sitting here like, what is going on? Are you playing it? Are you not playing it? Do I need to play this ball? Do I not need to? And then, like, by the time he finally figures it out, he's like, oh, okay, now I can go. But now he's almost being challenged. And it's just super awkward to, like, just create that extra traffic for your teammate. So just try to recognize where he is, let him play his space, and focus on playing yours. At this level, it is important that with every touch we make, we have some reason for why we're doing it. Like, if we look at a touch and just go, oh, I was just hoping it worked, that's probably not the touch we should be making. So again, this ball comes to you, assess the situation. Again, we don't know how much boost this guy has, but he's going that way. His momentum, everything's carrying him over here. So we have two options. The option we don't want to go for is to chip it back behind us, because there's a defender over there, and if we chip it and can't immediately follow it, they're just going to take the ball, as they do here. So we need to play for space. And the space is not going to be over our shoulders, so where do we have space? Well, we have space in our back corner, and we have space on this sidewall. Both of those are good options, because if you play the ball back to your own corner with momentum, this guy landing over here is going to have a really hard time catching up. And even if he does, he's still, like, challenging you in your own corner. But if you are worried about that, then you can play the sidewall. But 100%, our touch here needs to keep the ball close and allow us to follow it up. Regardless of what we do, either playing it to the back corner or playing it to the sidewall, but we need to jump up, roll this ball along the ground, and get back to it. We cannot do this. Because Zane is now like, oh, thank you. Wonderful. And now he just has a free ball. And now we're awkward because of it. So be careful about that. And then right here again, make life easy. This is going to be a thing that we're going to see a couple of times, is you rotating back directly underneath where the ball is going. So your teammate gets demoed. That's whatever. At this point, Zane is in the air. Realistically, he has no support, because we know the other guy landed, like, somewhere over here. So he's going to be, you know, off wandering. Like, maybe he's back around here right now, but, like, I'm not really overly concerned about that. And us sitting here and, like, going this way is not going to allow us to cut off anything that's really happening. So rather than doing this and, like, running back underneath where the ball is, I would turn out this way. And the reason I say this is because now, again, we have an angle to play with. So now, depending on what he does, we're here. And now we can play it. The problem is you are underneath the ball, so you're not really doing anything from under here. You're just here, but you're not doing anything. Which means you're now completely useless to your team, which is never what you want to be. So if we create this angle, and now we see our teammate spawn there, well, now we have, you know, 2 layers of defense here, because our teammate can challenge first, and we can just play in behind him. And now we're fine. But again, by you being here, you're now creating an obstacle that your teammate needs to worry about getting the ball around, that he absolutely should not need to worry about getting the ball around. Be careful of that, and again, we're going to rotate. Yeah, there's teammate with a great example of if you want the ball, just jump over your teammate. Perfect. Be careful about your rotation here. This is another huge thing. Understand when the ball is actually threatening, and when you actually need to position yourself in a spot where you need to make a save. So as I'm rotating back here, your pathing is good. You're on these pads. That's great. We love that. You don't need to rush to the near post. I would just hang back, because what is he going to do? All he's going to do is pinch it along the wall. Maybe he pinches it out. That's possible. But he's not going to pinch it into your net. The net is not threatened right now. He is just getting a touch. That's whatever. I'm waiting back here until I see what he does. Because then from here, I have a very easy angle to turn and jump, but you've rotated into net. You're now drift turning to here. So now you lose all your momentum and you come to a dead stop. And now you need to try to gain that momentum back to get up to the ball, which is partially why your teammate jumps over you, because you don't have smooth movement through here. So as you're rotating back into net, it is extremely important to maintain your momentum in your movement for as long as possible. We want to keep this movement completely smooth so that when that ball pops, we go get it. And there's none of this breaking and waiting stuff. Because this is just, you know, fodder for your teammate to think, oh, I'll jump because I have the momentum, and now you're again in an awkward spot. But that's partially caused because your teammate doesn't like that you've stopped on the goal line when the ball's just sitting on the backboard. This is another rush touch then, as well. You don't have awareness of where these opponents are, and you panic on this touch. This is all fine. You have so much time. You have literally all the time in the world. Because Ollie is going back. He's gone. He's out of the play. He's still facing backwards at the time that this 50 happens. The other guy's landing on the other side of the field. So we're good. We have plenty of time. And if you're worried, as you turn back to this, use your rear view, use your right stick, look around, see where people are, and then play this calm. You don't need to attack this ball as soon as humanly possible. If you recognize that you have space, which you absolutely do, literally, basically your entire half is open to you, don't rush. Just wait, let it bounce, it's fine. We'll just let it bounce in again. We don't need to play it right now. We can just let it bounce, catch it, and now we have full control. There's no reason to make this touch. This is 100% panic because you don't know that you have space, so you're just rushing and getting whatever touch you can. But now this touch is really subpar, now your recovery is awkward, and now you give up the free ball because you're awkward in the corner. You don't need to rush this. Yes, there's a possible opportunity mid, but you only have 19 boost. This ball is super awkward. If you try to make this touch, one, there's every possibility that your teammate's about to get destroyed off this field. That's very possible. The other possibility is this pass is about to be super weak, and Ollie's just going to go, great, thanks, and they're just going to take the free ball. So, if you recognize you're in an awkward spot, there is, again, nothing wrong with just letting the ball come to you, taking control, and forcing this guy into a 50, because the fact that he's facing this way, if he tries to 50 you, there's every chance that you just easily win it. But instead, we try to force the ball, and then because of that, the touch isn't great, and it doesn't really do anything for us. So, yeah, be careful of that, because that's just a nothing touch that bails them out of a possible awkward situation for absolutely nothing. Now, in fairness, they do go to hit it directly back into you, so there is that, but yeah, be aware of that, and then don't overstay your welcome here. This ball at this point is not for you. The chances that this ball comes back to you is basically 0. So what you do here is recognize, look, I'm under the ball. I can't do much. I'm just going to go do something that is easy for me to do. Because dealing with this is not going to be easy. This can now be our teammate's job. This is easy. Go get that guy. Go bump him out of the play, because if this guy wants to like pinch it on the ground awkwardly and send it in the midfield, and we bump this guy out, there's every possibility that our teammate could be there to shoot this ball. But instead, we hang around here, and now we basically create a double commit with our teammate in a spot that we absolutely should not be in, because we're just hanging out for no reason. And now we're both here. So again, not only did you put yourself in a fairly useless position, but you also again confused your teammate, because he has no idea what you're trying to do. And you're rotating under the ball again. Widen out. It's not worth it. Don't get the, like, even if you get the mid boost, I don't necessarily hate this, but recognize that you're not going to win this ball. You can't back up into this. It's not going to work. So grab this mid boost and keep going. And just stay back over here, because your teammate's already pressuring this, so let him do that. Now we can spread out. And if your opponent tries to take a dribble, he gets absolutely demolished by this guy. If he plays it into the corner, we now have the angle to play with, and we're good. This is fine. We drop the wall, we get the challenge, we're chilling. But now you're both chasing the ball underneath it. Nobody is covering back with where this angle. So there's nobody to cut this play off. You guys are just kind of letting him do whatever. And then, of course, he gets this pass because you guys are trying to challenge the ball from this way, which doesn't work. Because, you know, he's very easily able to play that ball over the top of you. And now, because you're coming from this angle, you can't make this save. So give yourself that angle. It will make a massive difference when the ball is going into the corner and offside walls. It will make things much, much easier for you. Because that play is super awkward. Just rotating underneath it like that puts you in awkward spots every single time. So don't put yourself into those awkward positions. Play smartly off of them. Again, slow down. There's no reason that we need to be chasing this thing like this. We are not on this ball. As soon as this ball bounces that way and we see our teammate there, we're not on this ball. It's his, not ours. We're chilling. We wait. We wait and see where the play goes. We need to know how it's going to develop before we know where we actually need to go. So slow down and just start to drive. Okay, it's going that way. No problem. I'll just wait right here. I'm cool. Yep, that's fine. Still waiting right here. And now, like, I have space. So when Ali inevitably tries to make this touch, oh, this is fine. No problem. I'm right here. Easy. I can cut this off right here, get this boost, and now we have possession still. But because you chased it all the way in here, now when this ball is loose, you feel like you have to go. But you're backwards at the point that the ball becomes loose. Now you need to make this awkward turn. But now you're under the ball, and you're like not quite sure if your teammate's going to get a touch or not. So you hesitate an awful lot. But because you hesitate, and the opponents don't have to, you get dusted by a guy with 0 boost. Like, he has absolutely nothing, and you both get flat out dusted by him. And it's just because we're in such an awkward spot that, like, we're just waiting to see what our teammate does, but we're waiting to see what our teammate does directly under the ball. So, like, now our opponent beats both of us for the price of 1. And now we're again super awkward. The biggest thing by far is that you need to slow down and give yourself better angles to play with. The angles that you're playing at make it virtually impossible for you to play the ball, which means you are just handing open space to your opponents over and over and over again the entire game. As you guys can see, a lot of the trouble that we got into in that game was largely self-inflicted. Of the many aspects in Rocket League, there are only a few that we have full control over. Where we go on the field and how quickly we go there is one thing that can't really be impacted a whole lot by the other players. And since it can't really be impacted, it's up to us to make sure we are doing it to the highest level possible. Of course, thank you everybody so much for watching. I really do appreciate each and every one of you who made it to this point in the video, and I do hope you enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, make sure you click that subscribe button right down below, so you make sure you don't miss any future Rocket League content. Additionally, once again, if you're interested in some one-on-one coaching of your own, or perhaps you just like to be a bit more involved in the community we're building here, do remember to check out my Discord, which is again linked down in the description. And as always, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. See you later, guys.